What is up there, SEO pros? We got the layout back. All right, guys. So today, what I'm going to be showing you is a preview into the course that I'm going to be teaching. Basically, what happens is once you sign up for the ClickFunnels, if you just go to chaserider.com, you just get taken through this, and then I send you an email getting you into the VIP Facebook group, which is where we're going to be putting all these videos. So I already sent out a good amount of invites to the people who already got the funnels. Looks like we're doing pretty well already. Let me just cancel out of this. You can see we got 2,500 grossed already, and this is one of the things I'm actually going to show you guys how to do. So the first thing that I'm going to be showing you guys is basically how to get your targeting set up, and this is part one. So like I said, this is like I'm just showing you guys a preview of what you're going to actually be seeing in the course. I'm going to do this first part, and then all the rest of the stuff I'm going to be doing in the VIP Facebook group once you guys sign up. So let's go over to, let's see if I can do this on Paint. I wanted to do it on this whiteboard in the background, but wound up not working out because the exposure is all weird, and I have to get the driver set up for this camera before I can use this. So right now we're just using the Logitech. All right, so let me just go like this. I think this should probably work. So the first thing that you're going to really want to do is figure out, of course, your target audience, right? So let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Ooh, that's big. We want something like that. Maybe? No. That's too small. What about that? No. So, nope. We'll just do it. Target. Ooh. I apologize. It's like this weird. Okay. Let's see. Target. I'm just gonna write it. The first thing you want to figure out is your target audience. So, what does this look like? Let me see if I can make this text a little bit bigger for you guys. All right. Boom. Target audience. Okay. So I'll give you an example. So what you can do is you can basically take what I'm going to show you for my target audience and replicate it for your target audience. Of course, my target audience is both other SEOs and businesses, but because I'm getting more into just helping other SEOs, it's not really as much that. And of course, you're going to probably be targeting other businesses, which I'll show you how to do as well because I have a template for that. So the target audience for me, and you can figure this out pretty easily. I'll show you how to figure it out. So first of all, you want to take a guess, right? Because you don't have any analytics. I'm assuming you don't have any analytics around your target audience. You don't really have too much authority, and maybe you do. I'll show you how to leverage that in a second. But the first thing you want to look at is your target audience, or guess what your target audience is. And so I know my audience is anybody from the ages of 25 to 45, mainly men. Here, I'll just go like this. Mainly men. Who are looking to either sell SEO or do SEO for their own businesses, right? Sell SEO or do SEO for their own businesses. And I mean, I had to guess on that at first, but like I said, now that I have the analytics, I can show you how I know that. So the next thing you want to do is you want to figure out who these people are. So 25 to 45 men, sell SEO or SEO for their own business. They also are mainly in the United States and Canada. Cool. And then the next thing is, what do these people do? So they usually work 9-to-5 jobs. They do SEO on the part-time. What else? They usually have families, or they're trying to make more than what they're making right now, which is, I would say their income's probably under 10K a month on average. And working Monday through Friday, that kind of thing. So you start putting together all this stuff, right? You figure out, okay, this is what I think that these people are. I'm going to start figuring out, what do these people actually need, right? So we know that they want to sell SEO or they want to do SEO for their own businesses, but we don't actually know what interests them the most in terms of like what would bring these people in, right? So before we actually target this, we actually want to figure out something called our value ladder, okay? So let me see if I can do it with this, because I really do want to draw this part. Let me just do new, don't save, and we'll go into maybe pencil or something. Oh, here we go. This is perfect. So we want to figure out our value ladder, right? So this is kind of a representation of the value ladder. And I literally do think that you guys should you should draw this out, because this is something that I've actually done myself, and it's really important to do. So, okay, so step one in any value ladder is, what are you giving away? So usually, in most cases, the best thing to do is to give away some sort of free content. Content's something that, one, it ranks. So let me just put this down here. Content ranks on you know, Google. It depends on what search engine you're using, like YouTube, Facebook, if you're good at Facebook marketing, because those are search engines, right? The next thing is that it gives you leverageable assets. And what does that mean? It means that you have something that you can start building authority with, because if you don't have really any authority, what's going to happen when you figure out your value ladder and you figure out your audience? Say, well, this is your audience, right? We got some people here. The thing is that once you start figuring this stuff out, you need to figure out what you can do to sell to these people. And usually by having this in the beginning, you start being able to create something that you can sell. So all this paid stuff up on the ladder that I'll show you in a second doesn't really matter as much as starting to do this, because like I said, you start to build authority. And there's all kinds of ways that you can leverage this in a really quick way. I'm going to show you how I do it personally and how you can start doing it too. So we know that I do YouTube videos, right? And I also have a Facebook group, plus an email newsletter and all that stuff, right? That doesn't mean that that's how you have to do it. If you're not comfortable on video, then you don't have to do that. Let me get another notepad. So we'll go over here. So what are some ways that you can start leveraging assets, right? So we got Facebook. You can start doing social media. You can start doing writing. You can do blogging. You can do video marketing or vlogging, which is what I do. You can do podcasting. You can do, what else? There's so many things you can do. The idea, though, is that you start becoming established in some of these, right? Because what happens is then you can start using those to your advantage. So the beginning of your value ladder doesn't have to be YouTube and Facebook or getting ranked organic, or, you know, you can start with other things. Like you can start leveraging just your own rankings. So like if you start ranking like local sites, right? So we start ranking for like iPhone repair in our town. We start ranking for, maybe we start ranking clients for like pest control. All of those things are great, right? Because now you have something that you can start showing. Now, personally, how I do this is like, I can take these things that I do and I can record them and then show people actually how I do this, and then I can use that as a case study. Now, you don't have to be that crazy. A lot of the stuff here, guys, like this free stuff, is, in my opinion, the most important, but it's also the easiest and it's the most overthought. You don't have to spend, you know, thousands of hours trying to create, you know, some of the best content in the world. You can just literally take what you know, like for instance, if you rank for like one keyword, and then just show how you did it. But the idea is that you start getting eyes watching this stuff, and then you start creating funnels, not like the click funnel that we created. We'll get to that later. That's going to be somewhere around here. But you start creating funnels going to assets that you control, right? So this content you control, right? We'll just say you start making YouTube videos, or we'll say you start making, you start blogging, or you start doing case studies. So now you have content, but what you need to do is you need to take that content, you need to leverage it even further. So what you can do is you can start creating things like content upgrades. So like when people go to a website and they start reading about your stuff, because you funnel people hopefully through your other traffic sources like social. I'm going to show you how to do that stuff too. You're going to be able to lead them into some sort of CTA. My drawing's terrible. Simpler Webs is making fun of me right now. You start doing CTA so you can funnel people into these assets you control, right? So the CTA will then lead to what? Like an email newsletter. So you get emails. You start maybe funneling them to a Facebook group. You start funneling them to like getting subscribers to like a YouTube channel. So I'm going to show you how I do all this stuff and how you can basically streamline this like in a really easy way, because it actually is a lot easier than you might think. There's some ways that you can take content, basically like just take basic content and then you can repurpose it on tons of channels, start establishing authority, start funneling people into like email newsletters and Facebook groups, and how you can start creating marketing campaigns that basically pay for themselves. So hopefully in the end, at some point, this is like a self-fulfilling system. So one of the most important things that a lot of people don't realize is that they spend all this time trying to create something like this, spending all this time trying to make quality stuff here when they should be spending the time doing it up here. And so that's pretty much what I have to say there. So in my case, I give away free YouTube videos. I get people to a Facebook group where they can collaborate, all that stuff, right? So the next level up from that, what is it? A lot of you guys know I sell roadmaps, right? So I'll do a $200 roadmap. We'll just say $200. So how that works is people, they find me through YouTube or Facebook or wherever, and they want to get their own roadmap because they know that I do that, right? Because I've already established this value ladder. So I'm going to bring them up here, right? So somebody's going to sign up for a $200 deal. If they want a live audit, I'll do it on my channel. So the reason why I do them live is because it feeds back into here. So now you can see it basically is this system where I'm making money, but it's feeding itself, right? Because I get more stuff to rank for, then they see it, and then it just keeps going, right? And at the same time, like I said, we're taking this stuff right here and we're also leading them into the CTAs, or I'm getting them into an email newsletter or a Facebook group, and then I start having traffic that I control, or I get more subscribers. So this might sound kind of crazy at first, but ideally you want to think about it like this. You don't want to be killing, 3 birds with one stone or 2 birds with one stone. You want to be killing like 20. And the reason why you want to do that is because most people don't realize that they have all these assets they can start leveraging even when they don't really have anything. But it's really about putting the right strategy in place. And it's usually about thinking about this a little bit more than just like, oh, we're just going to create some like 10 videos and then promote them on Facebook and then we'll get some emails. Like, that's not how you want to think about it. You want to think about, how can I have this system basically fuel itself? So a side thing that they can do as well, if I still want to make money, is I can take this money right here and change it to 300 if they want to have a private audit. The reason why I would do that and it would cancel this part out is because either way, this right here takes them to the next step. And you guys might be wondering, how does that take them to the next step, right? Because I know that if they sign up for this audit, I can create them a list of things that they need to fix, and then they can just hire me for this. So the next level up from here is 750, right? So we got 750 right here. Whoops, that's a 2, but that's supposed to be a 7. So 750 gets them basic implementations, and then the next level up from that is like, I don't know, like a $2,500 package, right? Which gets them like basically everything from that first month implemented. And then from there, there's other things as well that I can keep bringing them up. I can start doing web design. I can start doing social media marketing, adding packages to this value ladder, and then just keep bringing them up. But ideally, you don't have just one value ladder. You have more than this going on. So it goes back to the concept like I was telling you guys before. It's not just the killing the 2 birds with one stone. You want to think of it also as, I'll do a new one, as how can you create more than one leg to your table of marketing. So we'll just say this is the table of marketing, right? So we got one leg, that's our SEO, right? So we got our basic ladder going where we go from, free content to SEO packages, right? And I really apologize for this, for how badly this looks. But that's just one table. So what happens if this breaks? Say I lose 10 clients overnight and this is done. Well, this whole table collapses, right? So that's where all my money is. So if this table collapses, what ends up happening is I don't have any leverageable assets anymore besides, what I've already created. So that's why it's important to start looking at other things. So at the same time that I'm doing this, I'm also establishing a YouTube channel. I'm also establishing a Facebook group. I'm also establishing these courses, as you can see. I'm putting together a team that can do other things like web design. I'm trying to rank for other things. So this sounds crazy, but what the thing is that when you start generating this first basic income, so once you start generating money and you can basically pay for like this first leg, you want to be able to start pouring money into your other assets. So that's why when people are like, oh my God, you just grossed like 15K. it doesn't matter that I gross 15K, because all that's going to happen is I'm just going to reinvest it back into this other stuff. Because I know that at a certain point, if you have enough legs to this table of marketing, what's going to end up happening is that it's going to be very hard to knock all of these down. And if one of them goes down, I can always reinvest in something else. The other thing is that we don't know if, SEO is guaranteed forever. So if, SEO dies, we have these other things like AdWords and, the YouTube channel where I can start doing courses on other stuff. But really, like I said, the biggest thing that you have to figure out in your value ladder is how can you start establishing not only authority, but how you can also start establishing leverageable assets, things that you control. Because if you don't control anything and you don't have any authority and your clients leave you and something changes, or anything could happen, really, you're going to end up going back and working at McDonald's or wherever. And even if you think about it too, if you don't have anything to show for all this stuff that you're doing, like you're not taking this content and repurposing it and doing all this stuff that I'm going to be teaching you guys, you're going to end up, literally not having anything to show. Somebody who you might even want to so say like last resort, you say, okay, well, I'm going to get hired by an SEO company because this didn't work out. I'm going to save up 100K and then I'm going to go back and do it again. Well, why would they hire you if you don't have anything to show for it? Okay, so we figured out that we need a basic value ladder, right? So that's why I'm saying for you guys, this is a little bit different because I'm going to be showing you guys how to generate leads, right? How to start getting SEO clients, which that's a little bit different, right? Because like I said, I'm selling to like other SEOs usually. And then my smaller, much smaller market is the, like businesses that need like help locally. So there's a lot of things that I'm going to show you, like in terms of advertising, like how I'm able to pull people through Craigslist and Facebook and all this stuff. But ideally, like I said, if you guys can start figuring out what you can start leveraging here, it's going to make this whole process 1,000 times easier. And I'm going to show you guys, so once you start doing this stuff, right? Whether you're doing it through Google, whether you're doing it through Facebook, all these platforms give you the ability to see what's going on. So if we go into analytics, I'll show you. So we go into analytics, right? If we go in here and we start seeing our demographics or our whatever, let me see if I can find it. So we don't want to see watch time. So playback locations, devices, traffic sources, all this stuff. We can start seeing like a little bit more about our audience. When they're hanging out, what days they're here, what devices they're using, and then we can start seeing what these people look like. I actually you can actually integrate YouTube with Google Analytics and get more information. I know there's a place where you can actually see. Oh, there it is, demographics. Here we go. So 25 to 45, right? This says 44, but whatever. And like I said, mainly male, right? I can actually see like this demographic. And so like ideally you're not going to be able to figure this out right off the bat, like what these people exactly want. But that's why I'm saying, like, once you get a basic idea and you start putting this stuff in place, people are going to start responding and you're going to start seeing what they're saying, right? And then what you do is you start funneling them into these controllable assets, and then you can really start getting information. So personally, like in my groups that I funnel people to and my email newsletters and everything, like how this whole ClickFunnels thing got set up and how I started making money off this, like this, isn't because I came up with some crazy scheme that I had to like reinvent the wheel and figure everything out. I just went into this group and other SEO groups. Oh, why did my mouse just, hold on. My mouse just froze, 1 second. See if that fixed it. So I went into this group and other SEO groups, and my email and like YouTube and everything that I have where I know my audience is, this audience I was just showing you guys, and I'm like, hey, what's your biggest problem with, SEO? Or what's the thing you're having the most complications with? So I just do like a create poll. If you could get help with one thing, what would it be? I'll even do this poll right now. So I'm going to say, you can just say like things like, we already know getting more clients because that was the previous one I did. So I'll give other options. Ideally, you want to figure out like a little bit about, at least have an assumption so you can put something out there. Because, you know, the big thing is that if you don't tell people what they want, it's going to be a lot harder to figure out what they want. So you have to somewhat tell them, and then they can tell you back whether that's correct or not. So we'll say one of the other biggest problems that I'm seeing is like how to create a marketing strategy, how to do audits, and all this stuff is the stuff I'm going to teach you in these courses, in this course. How to do SEO audits. Whoops. How to make money online. Whoops. That's a little broad, but you know, whatever. And then the cool thing is that they can actually add their own questions in there. So we'll press post. And there we go. So now they can start voting. And then, like I said, I'll go to the next group and I'll go, you know, White Hat SEO. There's tons of groups out there. And the cool thing about this stuff, guys, is you can leverage this literally in any industry, whether it's social media, whether it's like people who are like looking to get more clients just for like, you know, pest control businesses. There's always going to be something out there that you can start screening people in. So same thing, you can do the same thing here. I'm not going to keep doing it because I don't want to create another course right now because I'm in the middle of making this course. But you kind of get the point. So now that you guys kind of understand, like, okay, so we find our target audience, we experiment, we put some content out there, we start doing polls, and then we start ranking some of the content, hopefully. That's when you can start leveraging that. So say you get on Google, start getting, let's say, 300 organic a month with some long tail keyword blog posts, right? So you're writing about, you know, how to SEO a pest control business in 2017. So you get 300 organics a month from that. Maybe at the same time you're repurposing that and doing some like Facebook promotions. You're pouring like, I don't know, $20 a week into that. And so you start getting some more traffic. Say we'll get like 300 a month from Facebook. And then you start adding up, you start stacking all these different channels, right? So like I said, what you can do is you can start building out these assets. You can start building out the Facebook groups. You can start building out, you know, the email lists, all this stuff, right? And then you can start doing some other really crazy, unique stuff, which will like make your authority like skyrocket a lot faster just by leveraging these things. I'm not going to talk about it in this one because this is kind of like what I actually do. This is what I'm selling. So if you guys want to see that, just, you know, go ahead and sign up. It's only 97 bucks. And then when this thing actually launches, it's going to be like 300 bucks or even more. I mean, it already is kind of launched. This is like the first video. So, that's what I'm going to share for today, guys. There's of course a lot more that we need to talk about, like how we actually set up the selling, all that stuff. So, if you guys do like, these videos in general, it would be cool if you could leave a like. It looks like you guys are commenting a bunch. What do you guys think right now? What are you guys thinking? I don't know where my stream went. Disappeared. All right, we got some people commenting. Good stuff. Chase, I might hop on the course this week. I want your audit roadmap how-to stuff. Right on. Chase, let me go and get a cup of coffee. All right, guys. Cool. Well, I'm going to keep building this course out. The first video is actually, I'm going to be streaming it to this VIP group probably after this. So, yeah. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the near future. And until I see you guys next time, happy SEOing.